Alright guys, Hayzink here, welcome back to the channel for another Street Fighter Duel video, and in this video I'm going to be giving you a bit of a sneak preview of how this unit, VEGA and CAMMY, actually functions. We'll go over their kit on TW. Now what I'll say is, when it comes to our version, I would expect this unit to function the same. The only thing I would expect to be different is it'll probably do more. As in percentages of damage and things like that will probably be higher because they're making the unit a special summon. It tends to be what they do. They basically take the unit and dial it up to 11. So I don't really think what we'll get will function too differently from how this unit actually is. It'll just be even better, if that makes sense, okay? Now, you're going to see in this video why I expect this unit to be a flame special summon. 100%, I'm not changing my mind on that. I think it will be a flame special summon. It makes no sense for it to be anything other than that. So, for things like Flame Tower, etc., I do expect you'll probably be able to use this unit. Now, we have to use Google machine translations, so some of the wording might be slightly off. I will put them on screen during editing, but for now I'm going to read my translations off my phone, so if you see me looking down, that's the reason why, okay? Now, first off, we're going to start off with the C1, which is what you can see on screen just now, okay? The reason that I'm talking about the C1s, first of all, is because it will make the rest of the kit actually make sense, okay? So, first off, when VEGA is on the field, CAMMY enters to replace VEGA, as you can see here. Now, the translations will say Balrog, okay? Increasing critical hit damage by 50% for 10 seconds. So, this is VEGA, tagging in CAMMY. Critical hit is increased by 50% for 10 seconds. Again, that is something that could be higher when it comes to our version of the character, because again, I do expect them to make these things slightly different when it comes to our units, okay? When CAMMY is on the field, VEGA enters to replace her, increasing attack by 30% for 10 seconds. During the swapping of roles, CAMMY and VEGA are in the Overlord and Immune control state. After swapping roles, you'll gain a love mark within 10 seconds and increase your own damage by 2.14%. Okay. During the role swap at level 2, damage reduction is increased by 80%, and at level 3, the duration is increased to 20 seconds. So that's basically the function of tagging, right? So when we talk about the characters for the rest of this video, you understand these characters do function as almost 2 units built in to 1 unit, okay? So it's time to talk super. Let's talk about the super when VEGA is on the field, and this is what you can see playing out on screen just now, okay? So when you're in control of VEGA, this is what his super does. So it'll inflict 2 blows to the nearest target, causing it to receive fire damage equal to 650% of attack. Again, don't get too hung up on the percentages, and has a 50% base chance of adding 1 layer of Burning Blast status to the character, okay? Now, Burning Blast, I'm not 100% exactly sure what it is. You can see with this translation, I think it causes attack times 30% fire damage and removes all burning statuses. So I think it basically, if you've got burning, it will consume them to cause more damage. Again, we'll find out a bit more when we get the English translation of this character coming, okay? But for now, it looks as though it does something to that effect. So when CAMMY is in play, basically what happens is beautiful spiral, right? So that's what you're seeing just now. It inflicts 4 consecutive blows to the nearest target, causing it to receive attack times 350% fire damage, and then launches a kick to cause heavy hits to multiple targets within the range, causing the target to take 350% fire damage and has a 50% chance of triggering an explosion on the target, right? So these move up as you're leveled, obviously. When having Love Mark, skill damage is increased by 50%. When having Love Mark, the last hit has a 15% base chance of triggering the Love State, which lasts for 3 seconds. Now again, these things might be slightly altered when it comes to our version, but you can see that obviously they do a lot of damage, particularly flame damage, burning, stuff like that, okay? So the two effects, again, machine translation. Burning, HP loss equal to 77% of attack per second, lasts for 15 seconds, can be stacked up to 20 times, okay? And obviously we went over the explosion. So let's look at the C2s of these units now, okay? Then we'll talk about the fighting heart. So first off, we have got Vega's C2, which causes 3 hits to the nearest target, causing it to take attack times 420% fire damage, and detonates the target at the same time, causing 4 hits to multiple targets within the range, causing the target to take attack times 300% fire damage, and has a 50% base chance. There is a chance to add 1 layer of burning status to the target. Again, wording, machine translation, big damage, single target, they come in, hit together, that explosion works as an AoE. Now, when it's Cammy in play, her C2 is called Sky Smash, inflicts 4 consecutive blows to the nearest target, causing it to receive attack times 420% fire damage. At the same time, it detonates the target, it causes 4 hits to multiple targets within the range, causing the target to receive attack times 300% fire damage, and has a 50% chance of causing the target to trigger an explosion. Obviously, as you level, the additional burning status and probability of triggering explosions are increased to 100%, and at level 3, detonates the target, has a 50% base chance of adding an additional layer of burning status to the target. Now I'm just going to keep letting this one play while I talk about the fighting heart and what that does, right? So, fighting heart. Elegant. When having Love Mark, Claw Crush replaces Gorgeous Drill Strike, strike a target 3 times, causing it to suffer fire damage times 624% of the attack, and detonate at the same time. There's a 100% base probability of adding 1 layer of burning bombardment to multiple targets in the range. After the skill is cast, the poured petals will hit multiple targets within the range 3 times during the process, and each time there is a 30% base chance of adding a layer of burning. When the character in battle is Cammy, the skill will become a flying spiral. A target is struck 6 times, causing it to receive attack times 624% fire damage and detonate at the same time, with a 100% chance of triggering an explosion. After the skill is cast, the scattered petals will cause 3 additional damage to multiple targets within the range while falling. Plus 5. When the fighter is in a support position, causes damage to the enemy with burning status. There's a 40% base chance of adding a layer of burning, which can be triggered once every 8 seconds. So basically, if you put them onto a flame character, that's who they're going to support. Plus 10. When you've got Love Mark, the attack will add 20% blood stealing. In addition, when the petals of Claw Crush and Flying Spiral fall, the base chance of additional burning is increased to 50%. When you're at plus 20, when killing an enemy target, restore the maximum health of all allies by 20%. And at plus 30, when the petal of Claw Crush and Flying Spiral fall, the added Scorch Blast for each strike is increased to 2 layers. So with their fighting spirit, they're obviously going to really ramp up the amount of burn damage and stuff like that they're doing. Now unfortunately I can't see things like cars on the TW version, so I can't really say what they're going to do, but we obviously know they're going to add layers of more damage, most likely. Potentially they could do things like maybe increase the healing that these guys are given, you know. But to me, these two characters are already very, very good as factional units. They're just going to take that and dial it right up. Now, I know some of you might be disappointed and think, oh, these would have been great to have as factional units. And they would have been. Standard factionals, they would have been. They would have probably been the best flame characters in the game, hands down. But remember, what we get isn't going to be the same, right? They're going to take all of these numbers and ramp them all up. If they don't, we'll see that, because I've now put this video out. You can see the percentages of what the character was like when it was released as a standard free character. So we will be able to look at this as a sort of a bench to just see quite how much they have buffed these units when they do come out on global. But for me, they are 2 extremely solid units. They're unique units, they're different. I'm more excited for them than I was for Summer Elena, who is obviously a very good unit. But excitement wise, these 2 units are far more fan favourites to me than Elena is, and I think they're going to be very, very solid. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do to them, and as long as they continue to give us 2 free copies plus the option via the grant and stuff like that, it's decent. I'm happy enough with it. Would I have preferred them to be standard factional units? Yes, because they would have probably been one of, if not the best DPSs in the game, free to play. But c'est la vie, it's not to be. They'll come out on global, we'll have them with soul power right away and stuff like that, so they will do some really good stuff. But this is your kind of sneak preview of what they're like, what I expect them to stay like, with maybe some alterations. They are 100% going to be flame characters. There's no chance they're not going to be flame special summon units. If they change that, they're mental. I think they introduced the whole concept of flame and factional special units for characters like this. Maybe that'll mean in the future, which is not necessarily a good thing, it depends on your point of view, they might take units like Yakuza Guy, who is a Thunder unit, and he'll be the first Thunder special factional unit. Who knows? I don't actually know. We'll need to wait and see. But I'm excited for these 2 units. I hope this sneak preview has given you an idea of what you can expect. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I've been Hayzink. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Peace.